Gentlemen, you are not ready for the level of downfall we are about to witness. It's unbelievable. So I've showed this in a previous video. Donald Trump posting an AI meme of himself taking a poop all over the No Kings rally, including Harry Sisson, a very large leftist influencer, big friend of Biden administration. As you can see, this is Trump in a jet dropping poop. And that's Harry Sisson getting absolutely obliterated. It's a rough day for Harry Sisson out there, and truly an unbelievable tragedy. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this clip is because Harry Sisson is currently doing a generational media run. He is doing a generational media run, going around talking about how he was abused by Trump. The leftoids are actually... I'm sorry, they're actually retarded, man. This is incredible. This is truly unbelievable. So, like, you know, like, they'll come up with the Republican guys in a college had a group chat where they made jokes about Hitler, right? And that conversation died out when Harry Sisson got pooped on. I'm sorry, this is amazing. This is incredible. This is like the most non-story of all time. So, Harry Sisson, of course, says, "Can a reporter please ask Trump why he posted an AI video of himself dropping poop on me from a fighter jet? That would be great. Thanks. 124,000 likes, 20 million views." As you can see, Harry Sisson is picking up steam. The liberals are allying themselves with Harry Sisson, and they're like, "Oh my God, Harry, you must get justice. Mom, he's making fun of me. Someone show me on the Harry Sisson doll where Trump pooped on me, please. Please show me on the Harry Sisson doll. The gender ambiguous Harry Sisson doll and his giant mangina." So anyway, JD Vance actually retweeted this saying, "I'll ask him for you, Harry," which absolute cinema. Absolute cinema. Absolute cinema. I'm sorry. I've never seen, this is truly wonderful. It's amazing. It's good. And Harry Sisson did not take this well, because Harry Sisson, now, he's not only saying he's being abused by Trump, but now he's going on a media run saying he was abused by Trump and Vance. The entire Trump administration is harassing him. Now, I want to make this clear. A leftist murdered Charlie Kirk, and leftists celebrated that he murdered Charlie Kirk. A leftist tried to kill Donald Trump, and leftists were upset that he didn't succeed in killing Donald Trump. Currently, the left is mad at an AI meme literally posting on a guy. I want to make the very stark difference between the two sides here a little bit clear. All right, anyway, so Harry Sisson decided to make multiple response videos. This is one of his response videos. "After Trump and JD Vance attacked me, it's clear that MAGA is terrified of us." No, actually, it's really not clear, but let's hear what you have to say.
So, folks, in the past week, Donald Trump has attacked me on social media.
He did not attack you, bro. He posted a video on you, which is very different. He embarrassed you, he humiliated you, he made fun of you, but that's not attacking you.
An AI video on Truth Social of him flying a jet, dropping feces on me, specifically, and millions of other Americans protesting. JD Vance then got involved and joined with the president to attack me as well on social.
Attack me? Bro, you literally said, could someone ask Trump why he dropped feces? JD Vance, like, you have to understand how insane this is. You can't do anything for these people. Can a reporter please ask Trump why he posted an AI video shitting on me? JD Vance said, "I'll ask him for you." What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? He's literally doing what you asked. He's literally doing exactly what you asked. What do you mean? What are you talking about, bro? You can't give these people anything.
Social media, and earlier in the week, MAGA Republicans got "Deport Harry Sisson" trending on Twitter.
Oh no! Oh no! A couple of retards on Twitter got "Deport Harry Sisson" trending. No!
It's the number one thing on the platform with like 30 to 40,000 posts from different accounts. And so they are terrified of us.
Oh my God, I love this guy. I'm telling you, this is amazing.
That's the takeaway here.
Right.
This is not just about me. This is about me, you, and everyone around you who is sticking up for democracy and pushing back on this administration.
I just want to make it clear, the No Kings protests are an anti-democracy protest. You are complaining that Trump, the guy who was elected by the majority of the American people, you're complaining that he's doing the things he promised he would do before he got elected. The No Kings protests are inherently an anti-democracy rally.
They are terrified of us. They see the No Kings protests. They see more and more Americans fed up with what Donald Trump is doing, and they simply can't handle it. They can't reverse course or change policy to have their approval ratings go up.
Bro, he literally won the majority of the American people. Bro, he literally won the majority of the American people. I don't think a gay little protest matters at all.
They have to go on the offense and attack us instead. And
he posted a meme shitting on you. Anyway.
And that's a losing strategy. And so I welcome...
Well, I don't know, actually. I personally think it's a very winning strategy. You know, it's because Trump's been doing this for years, and he currently is actually the president of the United States for the second or third time.
The attacks from Donald Trump and JD Vance and MAGA wanting to deport me, it only empowers me, it empowers people at home, and I'm ready to beat them in the elections in 2026 and 2028 and beyond.
I love this guy. Anyway, I obviously responded, I think very well. I think this was my response. I think it's important. I'll let you read it for yourself. But that's what I had to say. Anyway, so Harry Sisson is now doing a generational media run. Generational. Going around to every leftist show he possibly can to talk about his abuse and how he's actually an abuse victim.
Yeah, I think this is actually bigger than me. I know that this video was attacking me, but there were also millions of Americans that were also displayed in that video. Also,
it was a meme. Bro, you understand, the people in that protest were hoisting signs saying the assassin shouldn't have missed Trump. They were hoisting piñatas of Trump that they were stabbing. They were marching with big paintings of guillotines. Like, and he's upset to have an AI meme shitting on them?
also getting attacked by the president of the United States. So he's attacking me in a petty, gross, disgusting way. But I think the more concerning story here is that, I think
there really is no story here. That's the best part.
Is his genuine feelings toward peaceful protest, that if he could, he would attack in some way, shape, or...
He posted a meme. If you could, you would assassinate him. That's the difference. What do you mean? He literally made a meme. And these guys are out here being like, he made a meme because that's only the amount of power that he has. If he could, he would kill all of us. Meanwhile, these people are literally cheering and trying to get Trump killed.
Reform the people who dissent. So I don't think that this is actually, it's just about me or like the gross attack.
It's actually about no one. This is like a nothing.
I think this is a broader, more concerning story surrounding the Trump admin. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, so he's out here talking like an abuse victim, virtue signaling about the millions of Americans abused by Trump. And of course, the memes are truly something. People are taking full advantage of this situation. I'll be honest, it's pretty insane. It is pretty crazy watching this take place.
You'd say how do you story saying like, oh, there's Harry getting pooped on by the president of the United States. It's just not a sentence. Number one, I imagine you thought you'd say, or a sentence I ever thought I'd hear. So it's been really crazy to watch all of this unfold.
What do you think about
So anyway, it's obviously going very well. This is the new sombrero meme, it seems. Anywho, this ended up on CNN because I told you these people are actually retarded. So this is literally the story on CNN talking about how Donald Trump posted an AI video pooping on Harry Sisson. I'm not even joking. This is what they have. Let me remind you that the Democrats currently shut down the government.
Well, yeah, he was making a point. I mean,
point?
why shouldn't the president use a made-up video to respond to a rally that has a made-up reason? I mean, it's a non-existent reason. We don't have a monarchy in this country. We have a presidency won by Donald Trump, who won the popular vote, who won the Electoral College, who won all the swing states. We have a democracy. People voted, and they elected the president, and the only thing they're mad about is that he is lawfully executing the office of the presidency and enforcing laws that have been on the books for a long time. So he made up a video, they made up a reason to have a rally, and I think it was kind of funny, to be honest with you.
So, destroyed, literally obliterated on CNN. And here's the thing. What are you even complaining about? Like, this is the most nothing burger thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, I've seen nothing burger stories in the past, okay? The media always runs with this bullshit. I remember when Trump was wearing a blue suit. Remember when he was wearing a blue suit to the Pope's funeral and the entire media was doing like an entire generational run about how Trump was the only person wearing a blue suit to the Pope's funeral? Then it turns out that there were many people wearing blue suits to the Pope's funeral. Like, this is like such a nothing story. It's insane how this ended up becoming national news coverage. For the record, this is a Democrat Maine U.S. Senate candidate, Graham Plattner, who literally has a Nazi SS head tattooed on his body. This is not a story, but a couple of Republicans that got a group chat leaked in a college, or Harry Sisson getting pooped on in an AI meme. That's the story. Like, do you understand how ridiculous it is? So Harry Sisson is there. I saw these memes going around Twitter. People are really enjoying the Harry Sisson situation. So this is Harry Sisson getting ruthlessly mocked on Piers Morgan. We're going to watch the Piers Morgan because apparently he was obliterated. So, but first I want to show you this clip that went viral of Harry Sisson nodding like a complete fucking pussy retard.
He wanted generals like Hitler's. Donald Trump openly admires dictators, including Adolf Hitler. Last October, that was said on the campaign trail from the Democrat
Kamala Harris said this during the campaign, during the closing days of the campaign.
So anyway, he keeps doing like the bobbing head thing, and the memes are... So, yeah. Anyway, the people are obviously taking this very well. When your date unzips his fly, oh my god, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. The bobblehead, like, dude, this guy is getting absolutely humiliated, and it's amazing. Sublicious, thanks for the 3,000 kicks, and Outdoors, thanks for the sub. All right, so I wanted to take a bit of a look. I wanted to see what this debate was all about. Apparently, he got absolutely humiliated because they're out here discussing the No Kings protests. And I'm curious to hear what a nice democratic debate is all about. I support democracy sometimes, and I support a nice democratic debate. So let's see what we got.
Standard. That's something that you typically see in my Twitter comments from like some MAGA boomer who spends their time making AI videos all day. It's not something you'd really hope to see from the president of the United States, but alas, we are here. This is the guy leading our country. He's not serious, and I don't actually think he cares about...
Actually, I think he's very serious. I think he's, you know what, honestly? He could be a little more serious. He could deport people faster. What do you think, guys?
About anybody but himself, and I think he's more interested in social media beef with a 23-year-old as the vice president is than he is in leading the country.
Bro, he made one tweet. Vance made one retweet. And this dude spent the last 2 days on a media run. I think there's one person that's thinking about it a lot more than anybody else.
I mean, you managed to say all that with a completely straight face, but your side have done endless, incredibly mocking, humiliating memes about Trump. I mean, you'd accept that.
Like what?
Well, I mean, I could get...
Are you kidding? What do you mean, like what? Like what? Are you crazy? Huh? Like, they made memes trying to assassinate Trump. How is this even remotely similar? I'm actually shocked. I'm actually shocked that he would even say that with a straight face.
Literally 1,000 if you gave me half an hour to find them. I mean, it's not a secret.
Can you give me a couple examples from like high-ranking Lebanon?
Well, it's not a secret that the left do memes about Trump.
From high-ranking members. I mean, this was literally posted from Stephen Colbert and retweeted by Gavin Newsom of Vance fucking a couch. I think that's a lot more disgusting, in my personal opinion. In my opinion, I think this is more disgusting than anything that Trump posted, making fun of you and posting an AI video shitting on people. I don't think that's even remotely the same. I think memes like this are horrible. Well, like, what are you talking about? Like, this is crazy. Why are we even making believe this isn't true?
Trump, right?
Can you give me some examples from high-ranking Democrats that are similar to this?
Well, okay. Let me flip the question around.
Dude, Gavin Newsom has turned his entire personality into making memes about Trump. Dude, do you know the JD Vance? The JD Vance memes are everywhere. Literally everywhere.
He's saying there have never been any mocking memes of Trump by anybody on the left in America.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm asking for like high-level prominent Democrats who might be in a similar position.
Oh, okay,
to Trump,
so
whether
well,
they're
Gavin Newsom has done a lot of memes on Trump. I mean, do you distance yourself from those?
Has he done an AI video of dropping feces on the American people?
Well, that's a question of taste.
Bro, he calls him Hitler. What are we even talking about? Like, how are we making this example? What is this analogy? Dude, boo-hoo. Holy crap. Do you remember this? Do you remember this? What are we even talking about? This was celebrated by the left. This was celebrated by the left. What are we even talking about?
He does mocking memes of him, yeah.
Right. I mean, I think taste is a big point here. And I think objectively, Gavin Newsom, like mocking Trump on social media or posting like AI photos of himself or something like that is vastly different than Trump pooping on Americans, including myself and the American flag in that video. I think even you, Piers, would agree that those are...
He pooped and there was an American flag in that video. Meanwhile, this is the party that's burning American flags.
Two vastly different things, no?
Well, there is a report, for example, that you have sent a cease and desist letter to the White House.
No,
threatening
I don't
legal
believe
action
that.
if
There's
they
no
don't
way.
withdraw it. Is that true?
No. I think...
Okay, thank God. That would be crazy.
Anybody got that from. I think there are genuinely just a lot of accounts on that platform that make stuff up. And I think that's just another case of that. But you heard it here first. I have not sent a cease and desist to the White House.
Okay, good. Isabel, you know, I got to be honest. When I saw it, I thought, yeah, it's pretty tasteless, but it made me
I thought it was funny.
chuckle. I don't, you know, it's like it's a classic Trump stunt.
Yep.
Many people will think it's puerile and pathetic. Other people will laugh. The point that Anthony Scaramucci made, that you wouldn't see these other... I mean, of course you're not going to see Keir Starmer do it or Anthony Albanese or any of these guys.
Because they're pussies.
They just are classic politicians who behave in a classic political manner. The whole point of Trump is he's the complete sort of antithesis of a conventional politician. And I can imagine there are a lot of Americans, and I'm talking about millions, who would have found that just amusing, right? And didn't read too much into it, just thought it was Trump basically retaliating to what he would have seen as a ridiculous protest by being Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think amusing.
Look at him closing his eyes like, no. No, he says. Why is everyone not comforting me? Why are they not comforting me? Yeah, Bukele memes, Milei memes. Dude, they all meme. All the good leaders in the world actually do meme. It's kind of crazy how they're almost human.
Amusing is a good word used there, Piers, and ultimately...
Dude, it was a meme. I want to make this clear. Like, this was a joke, like a meme. He posted a meme video taking a shit on people protesting against democracy. Like, it was literally making a joke.
Donald Trump's sense of humor is not a surprise. We've known this man for upwards of a decade in American politics now, and nobody understands meme culture better than President Donald Trump. He's the architect of most of the best memes in history.
This dude is literally holding back tears. Are we even just joking? Like, this dude is literally holding back tears. This is the most pathetic shit of all time. Can you imagine being a leftist and being like, yep, that's my guy. I'm gonna support Harry Sisson on this battle. This is horrible.
But I don't think it's comparable to the memes, graphics, posters, calls for legitimate violence that we saw spread in city streets across America this last weekend from people of all ages on the left wing of the American political system, saying that anyone who supports Donald Trump, anyone who works for him,
there's a leftist guy running for attorney general in whatever the fuck, in Virginia, saying that he wants to murder Republicans and their children because they're little fascists. The leftists don't condemn him. Trump posts an AI video taking a shit on a protest. This becomes a national media story. Like, this is insane.
Anyone who voted for him should be violently attacked, murdered, or assassinated because they are inherently Nazis, racists, or fascists. And that is the political rhetoric that I think we're having a very hard time reconciling with as we move forward in this country, particularly in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination. Harry, you asked for specific examples of memes that are raising the political temperature to incite violence against right-wingers in this country. You yourself posted in June of last summer, showing Charlie Kirk with a Ku Klux Klan hood photoshopped over him, calling him a racist and saying, Charlie, just put the hood on already. That video was later archived.
Wait, that's not true.
Oh, please
That's not
tell
true.
us
What I posted, I'd love to. What I posted was actually not of last summer. I don't even know where you got that from. It was from the New York City primary where Charlie Kirk likened Zohran Mamdani to the 9/11 terrorists. And I thought that there was a very racist and obviously unfair comparison. And so I told Charlie Kirk to put the hood on.
There's this guy who's a radical Muslim socialist running for mayor in America. Running for mayor of New York City, where 9/11 happened. In the biggest Muslim terrorist attack probably that ever happened in the world. And this guy actively supports terrorists and Islamic terrorists across the world, like Hamas, and for example. Also, Zohran Mamdani refuses to condemn it and says that while, you know what? I'm gonna pull up the Zohran Mamdani tweet. I'm gonna actually show it to you. Zohran Mamdani, 9/11, because it's worse than you think. I'm not even kidding. Like, I'd rather show it to you instead of saying it. All right, what do you think of this? So this is a terrorist, Anwar Awlaki, who was tied to the both Boston bombings and 9/11. Fascinating article on this guy, but I take issue with a couple of things. All right, why no proper interrogation of what it means for the FBI to have conducted an extensive survey in his private life? Why no discussion on how his knowledge of service led him to Al-Qaeda? He's literally defending Al-Qaeda, guys. Like, are we insane? Are we in the same, like, what are we talking about? So you're telling me that this guy should not be criticized for this? Now, this guy's statements on 9/11 are abhorrent. Every single time he makes a statement, it is worse than the last. They lied about Iraq's thing, whatever. Nearly 3,000 New Yorkers died on 9/11. 19 years later, the death hasn't stopped. We mourn our neighbors who died on that day, the hundreds of thousands who died in the wars that followed, the unknown millions injured and displaced. In their memory, will make a better world. This is his response every single 9/11. He's like, 3,000 New Yorkers died on 9/11. What's so much worse is the retaliation to the terrorist attack. That's a nightmare. I'm thinking of all those people that died that killed the 3,000 New Yorkers. All right, that's his statement every single year about 9/11. So when you criticize him for this, that doesn't make you part of the KKK, Harry Pissin.
Because there's nothing similar between Zohran Mamdani, a politician whom he might have disagreements with, and 9/11 terrorists. So I don't know where you got your information from, but that's just objectively false.
Well, anyway, I got it for you. Don't worry.
Oh, according to a very basic Google search, Harry, in June of last year, you posted a video.
I encourage people to do it.
Charlie Kirk is out here preaching unity while pushing every racist trope in the book. Just put the Klan hood on, Charlie. It would be more honest. You obviously were delivering that in a sarcastic tone, but you showed an edit overlaying a Ku Klux Klan hood on Charlie's head for dramatic effect. That video was later archived or removed after it had almost 2 million views on TikTok alone. And I think it's just an incredibly clear example, just like the thousands of videos, photos,
Dude is literally
posters,
on the verge of tears
that we've seen, Piers, across the country at these so-called Save Democracy protests, Save America protests, where you're watching people wear t-shirts saying "Make assassinations great again" with Donald Trump's head exploding.
True.
Public school teachers in Chicago simulating shooting themselves in the neck to celebrate the fact that Charlie was violently assassinated on an American college campus. You're watching people say, if I had the chance to kill Stephen Miller because he is a fascist and a Nazi, of course I would take that opportunity. People calling for the execution.
The left hating Nazis so much they want to kill Jews. Classic.
Of Donald Trump, anyone who votes for him, anyone who supports him or works for him. This is a very dangerous time to be openly conservative in America. And the amazing thing about all of that is those people represent more than half the country. So I think we're coming to a time in America right now where we have to reconcile the fact that we need to be open and honest about our beliefs.
Look at him.
To the point
he cannot stop touching his face. He's losing his mind.
That it is impossible to reconcile with people and to coexist with them when they legitimately want you dead after spending years calling you a fascist, a Nazi, a white supremacist, literally Adolf Hitler, or anything else we often see influencers like Harry post on social media.
All right, Harry, respond to that.
Okay, so I just...
The Taku
ad break. Sorry, Harry.
Makes the next move.
Yeah, I have a quick response. So first of all, the video you're still talking about is not true. I also haven't archived or deleted any videos about Charlie Kirk. That was a complete factual error. on the behalf of a lot of Republicans following Charlie Kirk's murder. Haven't deleted any of it. You can go look it up. Wait. But Isabel, respectfully, I let you finish. Okay. Respectfully, I let you finish. So I haven't deleted any of those videos. Right. You can go see all the videos, all the tweets I've posted in response to Charlie Kirk. Now, you keep talking about political violence, and we have study after study that shows that more political violence comes from the right wing, especially.
Dude, these people are unbelievable. They are unbelievable. They use the same lines every single time. This is unreal. How do these people do this? Actually, we've seen study after study from the ADL, which doesn't count anything as political violence when it's on the left. And it says that there's political violence on the right. Jan 6 happened. Remember, these studies do not count BLM riots as left-wing violence. They don't count anti-ICE riots as left-wing violence. They don't count transgenders shooting Christians as left-wing violence. They don't count anything, all right? They don't. You want to know something insane? And this is going to freaking blow your mind because I actually did the research on this. They don't count the attempted Trump assassination as left-wing violence because there are some Republicans that don't like Trump too, so we don't actually know. Get this into your head. They do not count attempted Trump assassinations as left-wing violence. I am not joking. You expect me to trust these polls? Unbelievable.
In modern American history than it does from the left wing. So even if you just want to ignore the data, question for you. When Donald Trump mocked Paul Pelosi getting beaten over the head with a hammer, was that okay? When Donald Trump Jr. did the same, was that...
Is Paul Pelosi dead? It's not a fair example. Also, Paul Pelosi's attacker was not a political attack. It was a personal matter. It was not a political attack. And for the record, I don't like making fun of people that actually get attacked and stuff like that. But still, it's not even remotely the same.
Okay, when Mike Lee, senator from Utah, mocked the murder of Melissa Hortman and her husband in her home on Twitter, was that okay? When
Melissa Hortman was not killed by right-wing political violence. Melissa Hortman was killed by a elected appointee from Tim Walz, chief gay tampon leftist. What are we even talking about?
Donald Trump didn't lower the flag for Melissa Hortman after he did, of course, for Charlie Kirk. Was
actually not after. That was before. And also, and here's another important point, no one fucking heard of Melissa Hortman. And I don't mean this in a bad way. Okay? Obviously, it's a true tragedy what happened to her. But no one heard of her. Okay? Like, there wasn't this mass country mourning because no one heard who she was. Like, I'm sure, and I don't mean this in a bad way. She wasn't like some sort of massive national figure that affected so many people. She wasn't a personal friend of Donald Trump. Literally not. Like, you can't compare her to Charlie Kirk.
That okay? When he was asked about Melissa Hortman, he said, "Who is that?" He didn't know who.
Yeah, because a lot of tragedies happen. What does this even mean? Like, you understand the story of Melissa Hortman. Melissa Hortman was a Democrat that suspiciously voted against illegal immigrants getting health care. Then she mysteriously was murdered by an appointee of Tim Walz, who literally had no King's merchandise in his car. And they're saying that that's right-wing violence. Unbelievable.
Melissa Hortman didn't even attend her funeral like President Biden did, former President Biden. So these are examples of political violence.
Political violence is when you don't go to someone's funeral that you never heard of before? That's political violence, but not actually directly supporting and endorsing it? Like, these people are insane.
The largest example of modern political violence comes from your party.
That's not even from the right. It's
Donald
insane.
Trump on January 6th, and then he...
Oh my God, they'll never stop. January 6th, there was actually a police officer that was pushed on January 6th. Yes, there were FBI agents there. Yes, there were Antifa people there undercover, but technically, yes, Trump wanted the National Guard to be there, and Pelosi made sure that didn't happen. But actually, January 6th happened, and that's a classic example of me having sex with my own butt.
Proceeded to pardon all of those people. So you keep talking about...
I love how she's laughing, because, like, you can't take the January 6th stuff seriously anymore. Because when you, like, he's running defense for a guy, Mamdani, who was running defense for, like, who was saying that 9/11 wasn't as bad as taking out the terrorists that killed people on 9/11. This is insane.
Violence, but every major Democrat in office has condemned any violence. I would condemn anybody at these protests saying they want to take the lives of any conservatives for their beliefs. But your guy,
you're so brave,
pardoned people who beat police officers over the head.
You do realize that first of all, I actually am not a big fan of pardoning people that actually attack police officers. I'm not a fan of that personally. I haven't been from day one. I'm still not a fan of that. However, I do think they needed a retrial because they were political prisoners. With all due respect, they were political prisoners. They were literally in jail for 4 years. Some without trials. Like, that's insane. They were punished severely.
All right, but Harry...
And again, now you're against... okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Now you're against assaulting police officers when your entire party has been inciting violence against police and ICE officers for the last 6 months? Are you insane? Like, I have zero sympathy for any of their talking points. Not even a single one. Every single person that's at any of these violent riots throwing rocks at police officers should be under the jail. Well, what are we even talking about? Well, this is insanity. Why are we even playing this game? And no, that's not me calling for violence. That's me calling for justice. If you try to kill somebody, they should take you out first. If you are violent to police officers, you should go to jail. ICE too.
All right, let me jump in.
Husband.
Harry, hang on. Let me jump in. Harry, just to be clear, though. You know, I'm looking at photographs here on my phone from the protests, right? Charlie Kirk had it coming. Make assassinations great again, right? There was this woman who's now been identified as a teacher, right? Who was literally on video.
I will be talking about that in an upcoming video. I'm doing a deep dive onto the corrupt teachers, like teachers that are all like supporting assassinations and stuff. So definitely subscribe because that one's coming and that one's going to be crazy.
Mocking the assassination, mimicking what happened. Now, would you unreservedly condemn that?
I think I've made this abundantly clear by now, Piers, that any mocking of Charlie Kirk's murder, any call for violence against anybody for their political beliefs is unequivocally wrong. But to suggest that it's only people on the left who do this is categorically...
It's just mostly, like 99%. You're right, it's not all, but it's like 99%.
False. And I know it because after Charlie Kirk was murdered, I got death threats that I reported to the FBI. I've been a subject of these targets, as I'm sure the fellow right-wingers on this panel have been the subject of death threats from people that disagree with them. So let's be nuanced about this. Let's not be disingenuous and surface level. Let's have
I am nuanced about it. 99% of the issues come from the left. Like, that is being nuanced. Okay? Both sides bad, even though we're 99% of the problems.
Informed political discussion, which would all lead us to the conclusion that...
But also, can we make something else clear? This is about Donald Trump posting a meme of dropping shit on you. Like, this is not even remotely the same. Okay, let's make this very clear. Okay? You are trying to take this moral high ground. Charlie Kirk murdered, Harry Sisson victimized, and now he's an abuse victim of Donald Trump posting a video of an AI meme dropping shit on him. And he's like, both sides bad. This is insane.
There are crazy people on both sides who will make threats to people on both sides.
You're right, it's just 90% of them are on the left.
And coming on here and pretending that it's one or the other and citing examples of people who are not elected to the Democratic Party when there are people in the Republican Party who mocked it is disingenuous.
Well, from my point of view, there is no doubt that there are people on both sides that do this kind of thing. The irony here and the shameless hypocrisy is that you have these widespread protests across America.
I'm sorry, Piers, you suck too. People need to be honest about this. People really need to be honest about this. You do not have mass protests of millions of people on the right going out, standing alongside people, carrying signs saying, kill Obama. All right, this is not something that ever happened. Never. It never happened, ever. No kill Bernie Sanders. No kill AOC. No kill Nancy Pelosi. Right? None of this. None of that happened, to be fair. And all those people suck. Right? Not even kill Anthony Fauci. People on the right want Anthony Fauci tried, maybe executed on treason, but no one wants him to get assassinated. Like, this is insane. It's crazy to even consider this as a both sides issue. It's really not. It's really not. You're going to have some psychos on each side, obviously, but it is massively accepted on the left, and it's not accepted whatsoever on the right. Saying that a group chat of Republicans making Hitler jokes that ends up getting leaked is the same as people publicly calling for political assassinations is not even remotely similar.
With a lot of people engaging in this, and a lot of people were...
There were signs of Saddam and Osama. Last I checked, Saddam Hussein and Osama bin Laden are not American politicians. Last I checked. So let's not go back to Saddam and Osama for right-wing political violence.
Testing about how disgusting Donald Trump is whilst being disgusting themselves. And so my point is, if you're going to protest about this guy saying he wants to be king, isn't he terrible, blah, 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 you probably shouldn't be glorifying the assassination of a 31-year-old dad. Let me bring in Jack Posobiec here.
But just for the record, I agree.
Okay, good. Jack,
like, everyone's so, like, look at you taking the moral high ground. You agree that all political violence is bad. You're just not willing to admit that it's an epidemic on your side, and it's really not an epidemic on the other side. And that's why it's so unfortunate and annoying to have these conversations.
Posobiec, I mean, let's go to the meme first of all. Did you have a big problem with it? Should Trump avoid doing things like that? He's not a conventional politician. He does shocking things to wind everybody up. I mean, what do you feel about it?
I mean, a meme is a meme. I don't think a meme hurts anybody. It's like Harry, show us on the doll where the meme hurt you. Donald Trump is going to post memes. He's always been posting memes. He's not going to stop posting memes. But at the same time, you look what he actually does in terms of his presidency. And I actually like what he had to say in response to the No Kings protest, where he said, "Look, I'm not a king. I'm just a guy who works really hard and works his butt off to try to make the country better, make the world better." And I think he does do that. I think he legitimately does when he goes on these trips to Israel to work on the peace deal, when he goes on these trips to Anchorage, Alaska. Now he's talking about going to Budapest to talk about ending the Ukraine war, when he's working on these things. And certainly people can disagree with specific policies here and there, and I'm sure many do. But at the same time, I when they talk about his intentions, I think that's where his intentions are.
Okay, I'm going to come to you in a moment, Scott. Thank you for your patience. I'm just going to bring in Rand Paul, who's joined us. The senators earned the president's ire this week for criticising both the budget and the US strikes on Venezuelan boats, and joins me again. Welcome back to Uncensored, Senator Paul. Thank you.
Sorry, don't care what Rand Paul has to say. Going back to the retards.
People think in America Donald Trump is behaving like some kind of out-of-control monarch. And you could look at what's happening with the attacks on the Venezuelan boats as part of that, sort of trying to just circumnavigate the normal rules of engagement with these things. You can position all of this stuff there. What is your view of the No Kings protests and the way that Trump is currently conducting his presidency, where there is validity to the idea that he thinks he's just a king and not an elected official?
Dude, these people suck so much. What a nothing protest, honestly.
Well, the protests are just a joke. I mean, that's just liberal Democrat voters whining. But I absolutely stand with Senator Paul and with his father, Dr. Ron Paul, on severe and strict constitutionalism. And that means an end to the world empire. I don't know if you saw this, Piers, but there's actually an article in Foreign Affairs, which is the journal of the Council on Foreign Relations, the headquarters of the American empire since 1921. And they have an article this week about how did the presidency get so imperial? Well, you need an imperial presidency to rule a world empire, don't you now? If you're going to be the dominant political and military force in all of Europe, Asia, the Middle East, and Africa, as well as Latin America, then yeah, you're going to need a pretty powerful president and a National Security Council.
Why are you complaining? Sounds good to me, right? No, all these people complaining about this. It sounds pretty great. Look, I'm not there are a lot of people that are like super isolationist these days, and they're like, yo, I really hate that America's getting involved with the rest of the world. I am not an isolationist. While I want America to absolutely be America first, and I want America to put America before anything else completely and utterly, that doesn't mean that literally close your eyes, stuff your ears, and say la 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 la, and not have any culture that impacts the rest of the world either. I'm not a big fan of that, to be honest.
That can declare any emergency and act with haste to do whatever they want. You listen to Dr. Paul talk about the strikes.
Like, these are the people that are so mad that Trump struck cartel ships from Venezuela. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. They're sending drugs to our country from Venezuela and you bombed them without due process. You didn't give the narco-terrorists due process, God.
Going on there off the coast of Venezuela.
Oh my God, I knew he was going to say that. You didn't give due process to the narco-terrorists.
There's no, as Al Gore would say, there's no controlling legal authority. No one even pretends that anyone can make them stop.
Okay, if these people need first of all, I want to make this clear. They all need to shut the fuck up and leave. Not America, but just public discourse, until they can acknowledge that Obama did 26,000 drone strikes illegally without congressional approval. These people have to stop, okay? Right, you have Venezuela narco-terrorists trying to bring drugs into our country, okay, and kill our people for money, all right? That's why they're doing it, and that's what's happening. They get bombed, okay? How can you consider that a gross miscarriage of justice without congressional approval when you're fined with Obama drone striking 26,000 times across the world completely randomly? How could you possibly compare? You're insane.
In the United States, hell, he could launch H-bombs at any city he chooses. There's no one to tell him no. And that's because America is a world empire instead of a limited constitutional republic. And that's why, you know, I regret, I don't mean to like diminish anyone. I just think it's sad how partisan politics makes everyone so stupid. We need to abolish the Federal Reserve System and
you figured it out.
Institute a 100% gold standard. And we need to bring all our troops home from the world. And we need to repeal about 99% of the laws passed since 1900.
Honestly, I don't disagree with that. That's kind of based. That's kind of based. All right, I respect that.
To save this country. We got people crying about, you know, X cartoons.
Oh my, he killed him. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, true, true.
I'll take your point. I mean, the irony, I think, of this whole no kings thing is that the US president legally has far more power, actually, than the royal family have in the UK. They have no real power at all. They're just figureheads. So there's a kind of irony.
Well, they had to rename the No Kings protests in England to No Tyrants because they literally have a king.
There is no kings, but actually, if you had a king like ours, then the power of the presidency would be massively reduced, not increased. So there is a kind of weird.
All right, dude. Obviously, you have the British guy sucking the cock of a monarchy. Like, dude, this is gonna sound real, and I'm probably gonna piss off some British people. I have no respect for the monarchy in England right now. They are figurehead losers. I'm not trying to be rude here. They do fucking nothing. All right, they do nothing. They contribute nothing, and people venerate them for some reason. And they really don't deserve the veneration because they ain't doing shit. I'm not trying to be rude here. I'm really not. Like, I just don't get it at all. Why? Like, on the one hand, you have a king, but on the other hand, he does fucking nothing. So, like, why? Why are we even doing this?
I think assumption going on here that our king or queen, as it was.
What about the queen? I think Queen Elizabeth was like a good person, okay, on an individual level. But I have, like, no respect for an English monarchy that doesn't do anything.
Before, of course, the king's mother, that they somehow have great powers. They don't. Isabel, I want to just play a clip. This is Robert De Niro talking about Stephen Miller, one of Donald Trump's senior aides.
He will not. We see it. He will not want to leave. He set it up with his. I guess he's the Goebbels of the cabinet. Stephen Miller.
He called Stephen Miller Goebbels? You can't, like, the most racist people on the planet are the leftists. What the fuck? Goebbels was Hitler's second in command. So this A calls Trump Hitler, and B, like, bro, you're literally gonna be... You're really gonna go out there and call the one Jew on Trump's cabinet Goebbels? Really, bro? Really, dude? Then you say the right wing is anti-Semitic? Oh, please.
He's a Nazi. Yes,
Holy
he is.
shit.
And he's Jewish. And he should be ashamed of himself.
Oh my God, these people, he knows. It's the first thing that popped into his head. Oh my God, they're like actual psychos. They're actually crazy.
I'm sorry, I just find that unbelievably offensive. To call a Jewish man a Nazi, to call him...
Tell him, Piers. You know what, Piers? I take back all the bad things I've ever said about you. You tell him, bro.
Him Goebbels. After
Tell him, fat English guy. Yeah, you cook, my dude.
Propaganda chief.
I get so many people calling me a Nazi for shit, like saying that I want to deport every illegal. I get so much of that shit, and it's honestly, it makes me smile every time.
Of the Nazis. And they keep doing this. the Democrats and Democrat supporters. And, you know, De Niro's been doing this about Trump for decades, it seems. He's almost hysterical about it. But to call a Jewish member of the Trump administration a Nazi like that, just beyond the pale, isn't it, Isabel?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Special wide code, Piers.
And it's wildly irresponsible.
% off and free shipping.
All right.
It is, and it's wildly irresponsible, Piers, but it's the same behavior we've witnessed for upwards of a decade now, really since
True.
Donald Trump first announced his run for presidency in 2015. You've watched the legacy media, our academic institutions, the entertainment industry, all of the loudest voices in society call Donald Trump or anyone who supports him or works for him a fascist, a Nazi, literally Adolf Hitler, Hitler Youth. I was called regularly on my college campus, and I know Jack Posobiec, myself, and many people who've been fighting on the front lines of this conservative movement have been warning for upwards of a decade. This is the natural result when you label people.
I think the natural result is assassinating Charlie Kirk and mass celebrations. I think that's the result. I'll be real. Name calling doesn't bother me. I don't care. Like, I'm a very consistent guy. I don't care about jokes. I don't really care about name calling. I don't care about memes. None of that matters to me. That's why when everyone says you have to condemn that there was a Republican group chat where some people were making Hitler comments and I said I don't care, and people were upset at me for saying I don't care, I really don't care. I actually think that jokes are fine. Jokes don't matter. Memes don't matter. It's when it borders into that actual incitement of violence. It's when actions are caused by the memes and the comments that are much, much worse. You know? Like, there's an obvious difference between calling someone a doo-doo head, all right, and calling someone a pedophile. The difference is when you call someone a doo-doo head, that's an insult. When you call someone a pedophile, that's a label that people now use to actually enact violence upon them. And if it's not true, then that is inciting violence. And that's defamation, and you should probably face consequences for it. Like, there's a very obvious difference. And I think that calling someone a Nazi falls more on the pedophile spectrum. I don't think that that's an insult. I think that that is slander. Because that person that you're calling a Nazi, last I checked, he hasn't been working any Jew death camps. You know? Like, it's insane. It's crazy. And it's unreal that these people don't understand the obvious difference here. And that's why I don't care about a Republican group chat when these people are celebrating the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I don't care. Are the jokes nice? No, but they're jokes. So who fucking cares?
With this rising political temperature, a fascist, a Nazi, transphobic, white supremacist, the literal...
Okay, well, to be fair, transphobic is fine. Like, I'm okay with that one. That one's cool. That one, we can keep that one. But the Nazi fascist stuff? No, that shit's crazy. But the transphobic, yeah, we can keep that one. That's fine.
KK and Photoshop hoods over them.
To be fair, transphobia, like, it does stem from reality, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be real. Like, I get it. I get it. Like, you know, I kind of get it. Like, I'll be real. Do you want your child to be taught about gender plurality by a trans teacher in middle school? I personally don't want that for my children. And therefore, I am phobic in a certain way. So, yeah, absolutely.
People eventually resort to violence because they'll believe this constant narrative.
That is the key. Yeah, I mean, that's the key thing. Let me bring in Jack here. I mean, we saw with Charlie Kirk.
Someone on my chat just said, transphobia isn't an irrational fear. Men are stealing women's trophies. I'll be real here, and I don't mean this in a bad way. I don't really care about the women's trophies as much as I care about, like, the, I don't know, generational mass castration of children. I personally feel like that's worse than the trophy thing. Now, the trophy thing is cringe. It's stupid. It's obviously dumb. I'll fight against it because it's unjust. But it's more the whole mass castration of children thing that I don't like so much, to be honest.
Some of the bullet casings the shooter used had anti-fascism slogans on there. So that we don't know the full motivation yet. That is still unraveling. But clearly, it looks like this person was attacking somebody he thought was a fascist. And that's because a lot of people on the left called Charlie Kirk a fascist and a Nazi, as they do with Trump, as they do with Stephen Miller. And to me, if you're a deranged, young, impressionable mind, if you do buy into that notion that they're genuine fascists and Nazis, you would see it as your civic duty to kill these people. Why wouldn't you? And that's the danger.
I've been saying this forever. If there's actually some sort of Nazi fascist takeover of the country, the thing you have to do is actually fight back with violence. Because if there's an actual Nazi takeover, you have to kill them. So when you're calling people Nazis, you are calling for political violence. I think it's very obvious.
Yeah, no, Piers, that's exactly right, and that's what we're facing. And by the way, hats off to Oxford, because I understand the Oxford Union has just voted to take out I think he was the incoming president of the Oxford Union. He'd been the president-elect. I guess he hadn't taken it yet. But here's a guy who had debated Charlie, had invited him to campus just a couple of weeks before Charlie's murder, and then is blatantly celebrating the murder of a man that he had just shared a stage with. And certainly they had disagreed on that stage, and that's fine. And that's what free speech and free dialogue and free debate, especially on campus, which is the modern public square, is all about. Yet here he is now celebrating this, laughing about Charlie's murder. And the issue, Piers, is that these violent Marxist ideologies are commonplace, and they're becoming more and more increasing.
We need to get this back, and I think that we need mass. We need arrests. We need to arrest the people that are calling for violence. These people need to go to jail. And until that happens, people are just going to be really comfortable calling for violence until it keeps happening again and again and again. I don't think it's even remotely acceptable, as part of a democracy, that someone should do that. I actually would fully support removing someone's voting rights if they call for political violence. Because if you call for political violence, I don't think you have the right to partake in a democracy. I would actually support that completely, repealing someone's voting rights if they call for political violence. I don't think we need to live like this. It's insane. It's insane to live like this.
Common. And I even have a bone to pick with some conservatives who say, oh, well, it's just video games, or it's just social media. I said, no. Go back in time and you can find throughout history, whether it's the French Revolution, which, by the way, one of the watchwords they were leading people up to the guillotine in revolutionary France in the Reign of Terror and Robespierre was no kings, no masters. That's where the phrase no kings comes from, right before they chopped the kings.
Yeah, not a coincidence that they use no kings. Because think about it, there is no king, right? There's no king. So protesting no kings is retarded. They're not calling it no fascists. They're calling it no kings. And there is no king. They literally borrowed the term from the French Revolution. And I covered this in my last video about the no kings protests. Because they want to kill you.
Head off. So that's where that phrase comes from. And everyone needs to understand the violent tendencies and the violent origin of all of these symbols that they're still tapping back into. Bella Ciao, which was written on one of the bullet casings, I believe not one of the ones that was fired. Destiny was very, very emphatic that I say that the last time I was here. So yes, it was not the specific bullet casing that shot and killed Charlie Kirk. It was the one next to that bullet casing. But Bella Ciao is, again, an anti-fascist communist song from Italy from World War II, and has now essentially become the national or international anthem of Antifa. This violent ideology is spreading throughout college campuses. We see teacher after teacher where they're buying into this. So many times when we look up one of these people that we find at one of these protests, they end up being a teacher. And unfortunately, this is all over the place. And I went to the White House and I told the President of the United States to his face that the next person who could be assassinated is very likely sitting around this table right now.
That's crazy.
After we saw Luigi Maggioni, after we saw Thomas Matthew Crooks, Ryan Routh, and now this individual, Tyler Robinson, there in Utah Valley.
Right. Harry Sisson, you posted last year in the run-up to the election, Donald Trump called for a united Reich in his new campaign ad. America, are you listening? Trump is telling us what he wants, and he's referencing Nazi Germany while doing it. It's unacceptable. He must lose in 2024. And again...
he didn't. Anyway.
I just played De Niro calling Stephen Miller a Nazi stuff. This constant refrain from people on the left of invoking the Nazis, Adolf Hitler, all this stuff. I just don't know why you guys do this. Obviously, Trump is not Adolf Hitler. Apart from anything else, he's trying to find peace, right? Not actually killing everyone that gets in his way. And he has a Jewish son-in-law. Right, so these things are just...
He's a Jewish daughter. His daughter converted to Judaism. This is retarded. He's obviously not a Nazi. He's obviously not Hitler. This is insane. The whole Hitler thing, originally, we were shrugging it off, but there are millions of people that believe this. There are millions of people that believe he's Hitler. What do you do to Hitler? This is insane.
They're not just wrong. They're unbelievably offensive in a way that actually the woke left would normally lead the charge of wanting to cancel people that did this, that said these kind of things. But apparently it's fine on the left.
No, that's not true. The major difference is the woke left. I think it's ironic to me that Piers Morgan wrote a book about wokeness and he doesn't understand anything about wokeness. It's insane. Wokeness is a ideology that's neo-Marxist at its core, where the world is made up between two vectors. On one side, you have the oppressor, and on the other side, you have the oppressed. Wokeness is waking up to the fact that we live in an oppressor-oppressed dynamic, where the people that are oppressed are the black people who descended from slavery, or the gay people because they only got rights more recently, or women because they didn't have as many rights as men, 50 years ago or something, and now they do, but they didn't. Etc., etc. That is wokeness. Wokeness is neo-Marxism. The reason why woke doesn't care if you directly call Trump Hitler is because Trump is powerful, is because Trump is is a straight white guy that's a powerful guy, and therefore he cannot be considered on the oppressed side of the graph. So therefore, they will always consider him evil no matter what. Obama could do 26,000 drone strikes illegally, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter that he's part of the entire giant establishment, the Democrat establishment. You know why? He black and gay. So, I mean, realistically, he is on the oppressed side of the woke meter no matter what. And that is how you look. That's how it is. So Israel is being more powerful than Gaza, makes Israel the oppressor and Gaza the oppressed, even though Gaza literally started the war. And it'll be like that on the left every single time. And that's the woke left. The woke left is always looking at things from a oppressor-oppressed mindset. That's why black people will be let out of prisons at a higher rate than white people. And that's why transgenderism is the absolute pinnacle, because they are super oppressed. They even oppress themselves 41% of the time. So that's the vector. So that's why they don't care that Trump is called Hitler. It's because they literally think he's the oppressor and they want him dead.
I mean, what is your reaction first to De Niro, and then maybe talk about your post and whether you regret using the Nazi language?
Well, I'm going to work backwards. I'm going to start with mine and then talk about what De Niro said. So first and foremost, in that ad that Donald Trump
I love how he starts talking, everyone starts yawning. That's crazy.
The words Unified Reich were on a newspaper that appeared in the ad that was like praising Donald Trump. So if the Trump campaign is putting that in an ad, I think that deserves to be called out. Number two, I don't think anybody in this debate can name me a high-ranking elected Democrat who has called Donald Trump Hitler.
Kamala Harris. The vice president, the one that was running for president of the United States, Kamala Harris called him Hitler. That's the highest ranking Democrat you could possibly fucking think of. Why are we even talking about this? Are you insane?
I don't think anybody can. Number three, one of the only high-ranking politicians in American politics who called Donald Trump Hitler is J.D. Vance, calling him America's Hitler. Now, working backwards to what Robert De Niro said, I think what Robert De Niro said is
my God, he's living in his own world.
He certainly could have worded it better.
Bro, I love how he's saying Hitler, not Nazi, because they all call him a Nazi. They all do that. Hitler is a little more,
They're taking out some charged language. But I just see these recent stories about Republicans, whether it be the youth leader group chat or Paul Ingrassi.
There was a youth group that leaked memes making jokes about Hitler. This is literally as bad as us killing Charlie Kirk and celebrating his murder. It's the same thing. It's both sides, guys.
Yeah, who is still Donald Trump's nominee to lead the Office of Special Counsel, pledging affinity for Hitler. Peter Gunta, who is the chair of the Young Republicans Party in New York, said, "I love Hitler," in a chat. Other people were musing about
as a joke, sarcastically, in a group chat that got leaked. You guys are literally publicly celebrating communism. All right, they're giving out communist newspapers. Can I just make this clear? All right, this is coming from a Jew. All right, grandchild of Holocaust survivors. The communists are just as bad as the Nazis. They're the same fucking thing, okay? They're equally bad. They're both terrible. And the fact that Nazis are considered on the left, like, oh, we have to get rid of the Nazis. But then you have the communists who they literally suck their cocks. Like, that is insane, okay? Like, they're both bad. They're both evil. They're both ideologies that have killed millions. They both need to be ostracized from society. But Trump's not Hitler. He's not a Nazi. And making jokes saying that you like Hitler is not being a Nazi.
Refitting gas chambers so they, quote, fit the Hitler aesthetic. Paul Ingrassia, the special counsel nominee,
again, a joke,
just got caught in other leaked texts saying that he has a Nazi streak. So when these
well, that doesn't mean he's a Nazi. That means he has a streak. And he said it in a group. He said it privately. Like, dude, this is insane.
High-ranking Republicans who are working in the party right now.
Okay, you know what? Like, it is ridiculous to even acknowledge this. I just showed you that planter guy, whatever his name is, that literally has an SS Death's Head tattoo. A guy running in Maine to be on the Democrat guy. You have Jay Jones, that's literally calling for the guy running for the Virginia Attorney General position, literally talking about murdering Republican children because they're little fascists. Like, on the left, you have people saying, yo, let's kill these people. On the right, you have guys being like, Lamau, Hitler, Lamau. This is not the same. This is not even remotely the same. It's insane that we need to make believe that it is. Even
Are pledging affinity to Hitler. I think that deserves to be called out. Not that every Republican should be painted as that. I certainly don't do that. I don't agree with that. But can the conservatives on this panel condemn, number one, Donald Trump's nominee, and number two, can they condemn the Youth Republican group chat? And
can you condemn the jokes that a couple of guys made in private? Please condemn it. Condemn it now. I have never said the N-word. Not at all. If I wouldn't even look at the mirror and say the N-word to myself in the mirror if no one was offended, because the word, it's blasphemous in its own way. It has power. I would never do such a thing.
then number three, if they write it off as a joke, then why were they so against people joking about Charlie Kirk? I never joked about Charlie Kirk, but they picked...
There's a big difference between joking about Charlie Kirk and saying we should do it more and celebrate his murder. There's a pretty big difference between inciting violence and joking about it.
You can choose when humor can be applied in politics, and when you're pledging affinity to Hitler, that's a joke, according to many.
First of all, it literally was a joke. If you read the message, it literally was a joke.
Look, from my point of view, I said...
By the way, I'd be happy to answer the question about whether or not a high-ranking Democrat has used this rhetoric. Who is Kamala Harris?
Oh,
I know. I want you to answer all the questions. I want you to answer all the questions.
Answer the question, Kamala Harris. Answer all the questions. Start from the beginning. Start by condemning all the Republicans that made jokes in a group chat.
Who is Kamala Harris?
Wait. Answer all the questions I just gave you. And can you name me when Kamala Harris said that Donald Trump is Hitler? When did Kamala Harris... Great.
Was Kamala Harris last year a high-ranking Democrat when she was
When did Kamala Harris call Donald Trump Hitler?
October of 2004. Kamala Harris.
When did that happen?
Said on the campaign trail, Donald Trump vowed to be a dictator on day one. His former chief of staff said he wanted
look at him fucking moving his head. Oh my
generals
God.
like Hitler's. Donald Trump openly admires dictators, including Adolf Hitler. Last October, that was said on the campaign trail from the Democrat.
During the campaign, during the closing days of the campaign. It was her final campaign pitch.
Yeah, exactly. This proves my point. Why does he do this? It's incredible. It's like, name anyone that called Trump Hitler. Kamala Harris. Yeah, exactly what I was saying. She just said he was like Hitler, not that he was Hitler.
Exactly.
Is that high enough ranking for you? You guys, you supported her for president.
Exactly, because there have been reports
the person
that Donald
you
Trump
supported for president
is
someone
just relax,
who was
Jack.
campaigning by calling Trump Hitler.
Jack,
you're so disingenuous when you bring this stuff up. You
wait,
can't even acknowledge the fact that your own candidate was on the campaign. She got a video about it. It's on her Facebook, or it's on her
Facebook. Let me offer one here, which is Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton literally compared Trump's rally in Ohio last week to Nazi leader Adolf Hitler's speeches. Speaking of the Texas Tribune Festival in Austin, she made reference to...
All right, list Democrats that called Trump Hitler or a Nazi. James Clyburn, House Majority Whip. That's exactly what I'm saying, affirming Trump is another Hitler. Jerry Nadler, House Judiciary Chairman, comparing Trump's rhetoric towards immigrants to Nazi propaganda against Jews, calling him a dictator. Kamala Harris, calling it deeply troubling and incredibly dangerous that Donald Trump would evoke Adolf Hitler, named Trump a fascist. Tim Walz, accused Trump of descending into madness and wanting the kinds of generals Hitler had. Hillary Clinton, compared Trump's Madison Square Garden rally to a 1939 pro-Nazi rally. Jasmine Crockett defended Trump by calling Trump a wannabe Hitler. Joe Biden posted a video condemning Trump for echoing the language of Nazi Germany in campaign ads. Ted Lieu highlighting Trump's use of Nazi. Do we need to keep going?
The Hitler speeches, we saw people raise.
Bro, someone just sent me this link.
Who has called Donald Trump? I don't think anybody in this debate can name me a high-ranking elected Democrat who has called Donald Trump Hitler.
I don't even know what to call him. I've called him so many things, but this wannabe Hitler for sure.
These people suck so badly. It's incredible. They suck, man. They're so bad. Like, you can't even call someone Hitler with a full chest anymore. Damn.
Their right arms in the air in the Nazi salute. I remember as a young student, trying to figure out how people basically got bought in by Hitler, she said.
Louise.
How did that happen? I'd watch newsreels and I'd see this guy standing there ranting and raving and so on. It happens all the time.
Literally everyone who has eyes knows that it happens all the time.
And Harry, I would say JD Vance was totally wrong to say it about Trump as well. I think the young conservatives who've been exposed by this Politico expose were totally wrong too.
Pussy, coward.
Can they say that?
They made jokes in a group chat that were leaked. Were they not nice jokes? Yeah, but they were jokes. Who fucking cares? What are we doing?
Test stuff in there.
I have no problem saying that, Harry. But there are
Jack,
sitting
can you say
members
that?
of Congress, like Jasmine Crockett, who literally just weeks ago called Donald Trump a wannabe leader. I mean, it's crazy.
Jack, can you say that? Can you condemn the Young Republicans group chat where they pledged affinity for Hitler?
Hey, I don't really care about some group chat right now while you guys keep shooting up all of my friends.
Oh, no, Jack.
Damn.
Jack, you can condemn both. You can
but Jack, I do think
it's not like, again, it's like making the two sides thing, base Jack. This is the two sides bullshit that we keep seeing. It's like, we kill you. You made a joke in a group chat saying that you're a wannabe Hitler. Can we condemn both sides here?
For consistency, actually, you should care.
Dude, I'm telling you, Piers Morgan is such a gigantic pussy. It's incredible. It's truly incredible how much of a giant, walking, slimy schmorgel this guy is sometimes. My guy, dude, a couple of guys in a college in a group chat making jokes should not even be in the same sentence as assassinating Charlie Kirk or calling for political assassinations. Jokes are not the same thing.
JD Vance tried to downplay what the young Republicans were saying in these racist, sexist messages.
Sexist messages? Oh my God!
There
was literally a woman in the chat, by the way.
One guy said that rape was
I don't
epic.
think JD Vance said anything wrong.
One said rape.
Oh my God! One guy said rape is epic in a joke context. This is truly horrifying. Will this cause more women getting raped in America? Because he said rape is epic as a joke. Again, I don't think it's a funny joke. I don't think it's a nice thing to say. Who fucking cares? It's a joke. Why are we doing this? This isn't public endorsement of rape. You know who else said rape is epic? Let me think. E. Jean Carroll, the person that accused Trump of raping her, said rape is sexy. That's right. The person who the entire Democrat Party came together to hold hands, sing Kumbaya, and glaze E. Jean Carroll for suing Trump for rape, said rape is sexy. Could all the Democrats please condemn her, please?
Was epic, and others said, I love Hitler. He tried to say they're all very young, but actually some of them were nearly his age.
It literally doesn't matter. They were jokes said in private. That is not the same thing as public calls for assassination and violence.
Is that kids do stupid things to tell edgy, offensive jokes.
Well,
he
Piers,
said,
let me
fine,
just
but they're
ask this.
actually,
Were any of
but
those
they are
young
still part of the
Republicans
conservative
standing
movement.
on top of rooftops outside of the No Kings rallies shooting at Democrats.
But that's terrible too.
You're being so slimy. You're being so slimy.
Which they don't happen. So I'm sorry.
Jack,
until
you
we
can
deal with the
condemn.
people
Wait.
who keep shooting
Jack.
at my friends, then I'm not really concerned about some group
You can
chat.
condemn
I don't
both.
hire those guys.
You can
I don't work
condemn
with
both.
those guys.
Jack,
but I love how Harry Sisson is like the quintessential problem here. Do you realize what he's saying? Condemn both. Condemn both a guy saying a joke about Hitler in private, and also condemn assassinating my friend. And he's like, condemn both. Yeah, both bad. Do you understand how evil this is? To even put both of them on the same wavelength? It's like, can you please condemn saying the N-word and also perpetrating the Holocaust? Can you please condemn the word faggot and also condemn Hitler for killing 6 million Jews? Can we condemn both, please? Can we please condemn both? And it's like, are you joking? Are you kidding? Well, why are we even putting these on the same pedestal? This is crazy.
I think you can easily condemn all. I think you can actually.
Wait.
Well, hang on. No, you wait, Harry. If you're going to be intellectually honest, actually, it should be easy to condemn all of these things. All the invoking of the Nazis and Hitler should be condemned. It's never
invoking the Nazis as a joke in a private group chat needs to be outwardly condemned by every political official. Are you insane? Are you crazy? How is this the same thing? This is insanity. Oh my God.
Appropriate, because Hitler and the Nazis were a gazillion times worse.
And what about every leftist? Do you all need to go out there and start condemning communists? Because some guy said he wants the government to own public grocery stores. So we need to start condemning communists now? It's completely insane. Like, this is ridiculous. These are not the same thing. I mean, he's a classic British guy because people in England get arrested for jokes. So I get why he's all upset. I get why his panties are in a bunch. I understand why his neck is in a twist. But, like, this is crazy.
Anything we're seeing here, I think the messaging between these young Republicans was appalling and should be condemned.
Yeah, it wasn't nice. But it was jokes in private. And it literally doesn't fucking matter when they're the other side is literally publicly calling to violence.
I think that J.D. Vance trying to defend it and calling Trump Hitler before, that should be easily condemned. All these things should be condemned. The killing of Charlie Kirk should be absolutely condemned by anyone, right? All of these things, if you're going to be intellectually honest, should be condemned. I want to just change gears now. I want to bring Scott back.
What do you think, guys? Is this guy walking in public dressed as Charlie Kirk assassinated at a No Kings protest? Do you think this is worse or better than a guy that said a joke in private? What do you think, guys? What do you think, guys? What are we thinking? Yeah? Think this is worse or better? I'm just asking personally. I just want to know. Like, what do we think? So that's why I don't care. Because no one on the left will condemn this because no one on the left cares. No one on the left cares. This is worse. This is public. But I don't want this guy jailed. I think it's a completely tasteless joke. I think he's a shitty guy. I wouldn't necessarily want him as a teacher or whatever. But there's a big difference between something like this and saying a joke about Hitler in a group chat that gets leaked. Sorry, not the same. You're all crazy.
Again, let's talk about Israel.
I feel like we should hold them to account, Piers. I mean,
everyone should be held to account, but everyone should be.
But you're talking about political violence.
It would be much better.
Making a joke about Hitler isn't political violence. Killing someone is political violence.
For the political discourse in America.
You're letting him get away. You're letting him get away.
No,
yes, you are.
Letting him get away.
Before you bring in the other guest.
Oh my God, this guy's amazing.
Jack is in a corner right now, right? He continues to go with this line of, oh, I'm very upset about Charlie Kirk, which is understandable as he should be.
It's not a line, Harry.
Do you understand how insane this is? Like, he's doing like a propaganda move by making believe he cares that his friend was murdered.
It's a line. Kirk. It is a line. First of all, you guys was not the Democratic Party. But second of all, Jack, you can condemn both. Look at Jack. You can condemn both. Look at the isolated incident of these young Republicans praising Hitler. Can you condemn that, Jack? Jack, can you condemn? Can you condemn people who pledge allegiance to Hitler? Can you pledge allegiance to Hitler?
But actually, okay, let me look. Don't talk over each other, Jack. I don't think it is difficult for you to just say that what those young Republicans were saying in these messages that was exposed was wrong and should be condemned. Why is that difficult?
No, I don't think it's difficult at all. But what I do think is very obvious here that was timed by Politico. Politico, by the way, which refused to. Harry, I'll let you talk.
But if they were young people on the left who were exposed to saying this stuff, you would condemn it.
I actually don't agree. I don't think that anyone cares about young people on the left in a private group chat that are saying things like Stalin is actually based. We need communism, actually. I don't think anyone would actually care. Like, if people were joking about communism in a private group chat. But the thing is, we don't even need to make this joke. Like, we don't even need to talk about this because they're public about it. They are publicly out here celebrating assassinations. So, no, actually, I don't give a shit.
Kirk's presidential nomination.
And that's the point. And that's exactly right, Piers. He condemns people on the left who joke about other things he doesn't like. But when it comes to pledging allegiance to Hitler, he won't condemn it. Jack, let me ask you a simple question.
Yeah, but they can both be wrong. They can both be wrong, Jack. And I do think if it was young.
But again, like saying both wrong is like saying it's wrong to say faggot, and it's also wrong to be a Nazi soldier gassing Jews in the Holocaust. Both are wrong. Well, I mean, technically, maybe. Technically. But there's kind of a difference here. It's insane. Like, this is truly unbelievable. Like, here, this is at the everyone's favorite No Kings protest. right? So this is a group chanting about the murder of Charlie Kirk. What about this? Here, let's watch a little supercut. Let's watch a little mashup of the No Kings protest.
Hey! Trevor!
What the hell?
Yeah, that's worse than a group chat.
These ice stations gonna get shot and wiped out!
Yeah, that's worse than a group chat.
Wishing that President Trump is dead?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep, that's worse than a group chat. Yep, that's worse than a group chat.
647, explain it to me. I like the colors.
Kill the son of a bitch.
Kill who?
He's 47th president.
That's worse than, in my opinion, that's a lot worse than group chat. For the record, this was literally in one protest. One protest on one day, all of these clips. All right, here's a guillotine. All right. Charlie Kirk had it coming from the Denver communists. In my opinion, this should be treated the same way as the Denver Nazis, but anyway, both sides, right? Make assassinations great again. All right. Cholesterol, do your job from a senator about Donald Trump. Kill ICE with a big X on a cross. All right, 8647, kill Trump. I could keep going forever for the record, in case you were curious. All of these are worse than a group chat, every single one. Every single one of these is worse than a group chat, not even close. All right, making jokes about Hitler in a group chat, not the same as people publicly calling for the murder and assassination of political figures. So that's why I don't actually give a shit. I actually don't care. Sorry, don't care, Harry Pisson.
I'm not saying it's right.
If it was young people on the left who were doing these messages, you would condemn it.
And that's why Piers Morgan's also a bit of a pussy about it, fence sitting here. Your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. No, I would not go out and condemn a couple of leftists in group chats making jokes. The leftists publicly call for assassination. So, no, I actually don't care.
Going in one
let me ask you a simple question.
Before we run out of time, all right, guys,
it's just not true.
All right, I want to move on.
He won't do it. He won't. All the Republicans talk about political violence and extreme rhetoric on the left. He will not.
Yeah, because there is political violence and extreme rhetoric on the left. True.
Condemn people
who pledge allegiance to Hitler.
What do you do in the wake of Charlie's murder?
Time out.
Pledge allegiance to Hitler is very different than making a joke about Hitler in a private group chat.
Prayers.
You know what I did?
I posted
videos.
I'm bringing Scott in. I don't want to
it.
mute your mics. So please, some respect for Scott, who's not had as much chance to talk as you guys, which is a shame.
I hope
Scott,
he condemns it.
Scott, before we run out of time, I do want to talk about Israel. The president has slightly reined back on his...
All right, well, anyway, that's the end of the Harry Sisson drama. I don't actually want to hear what a 23-year-old gay twink has to say about Israel. So we're gonna call it there. I covered Israel pretty heavily in the Hassan Piker video. So where, Hamas killed some Jews and then, Hassan immediately decided to blame Israel for killing their own people as a false flag. So that was yesterday's video. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. Harry Sisson, get a hold on your mangina. I hope you condemn Hamas. I hope you condemn it. I hope he condemns a guy making a joke about Hitler in a group chat. Can we please condemn it? I know that we're all calling for political assassination, but can you please condemn a couple of college guys making jokes in a group chat? Please, can you please condemn it? Anyway, dude is literally the emojis, those two fucking emojis, the glasses emoji and the finger pointing up emoji. He's like the unholy combo of those two bangers. Anyway, thanks for being here. I appreciate you guys. So yeah, anyway, this is Harry Sisson's media run because Donald Trump posted a meme about pooping on him at a protesting a made-up thing. Yes, this was a filler video, but this is what the media cares about. We're gonna make a poll. Did you ever say the N-word? All right, this includes in private to yourself in a mirror. Yes and no. All right, this includes in private with no victims to your assault of speech. I'm just curious. I want to hear what you have to say. All right, let me hear. Did you guys ever say the N-word privately? Did you ever say the N-word? Literally ever? Did you literally ever say the N-word? Right? Can we please condemn people saying the N-word to themselves in the mirror? I just want to know, all right? I'm just doing a nice poll in the chat just to see what you guys have to say. Did you ever say the N-word privately in the chat? Can you please condemn it? Please condemn it. All right, so the poll is done. 91% of the people in my chat have said the N-word privately, at least privately to themselves in the mirror. All right, so that's 90% of my audience. I do not condemn anything. Okay, I just privately. I'm talking about privately to yourself in a mirror. All right, privately in a group chat, in your dream, that counts. Any of that. All right, so that's 90% of the audience. 10%. So we got 90% of people that said it, and then 10% of people that decided to lie today. Well, anyway, I condemn it all. I condemn it all. It's literally the same as the Holocaust. Could we condemn both, please, guys? Any YouTube commentators want to cancel me and say that we should be condemning both? All right. Anyway, literally no one fucking cares. Okay, welcome to society. So. See you in the next one. Bye. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.